Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jesse, also known as Retroactive J. I will be showing you today a tutorial on using the OBS chat made by NightDev, using the CLR browser plugin with OBS, and all the reasons why you would want to use it compared to doing a regular window capture. So without further ado, let me just go ahead and jump into it. Let me preview my stream here. Let's see. I am playing some GTA right now once the Elgato loads up. And as you can see, I have my chat a little bit edited compared to normal. I have GTA font going on, and I have an outline for it, and that's one of the couple of things you can see right off the bat. But for comparison purposes, let me go ahead and add a window capture. And let's see, we're gonna add a window capture for my let's see, we're gonna add a window capture for my pop-up chat. We're gonna select the region, and this is the chat that most people would normally use. Most people would normally, it's not bad. However, I just feel like most people don't know that there could be a better way to display your chat. And here's what you get right off the bat. Let me actually use the chroma key and reset this up one more time and get this looking proper. There we go. That looks a lot better. Now, just to show you a couple differences that I've done to my chat, to the CLR browser and the window capture, we're gonna just type out a couple of things here. Let's say hello to start off with. You can see my text on my window capture is going to be red, and the text on the my username is going to be gray on the other one. Let's see, we're going to do \me colors, and basically I've also whited out any messages into white instead of displaying color text. Now, one of the reasons I've done this, and one of the biggest arguments people have against putting a chat into their stream, is that it detracts from the atmosphere. So, especially with the HD game, I'm most likely going to keep my at a grayscale, have my usernames be gray, and then my text chat actually be white. Now, you may not want to do this, and that's just a little something extra I do for HD games, especially for horror games. You may have a bunch of text and a bunch of colors everywhere. For a horror game, it's all bright and cheery. You got you got bright green fonts going in. But let me show you a couple of differences here real quick. On the mechanical level, this will be no matter what. Let me host using an alt account, my Retro2Go account. Let me host my main account and show you one of the things here. So I'm gonna host /host Retroactive J. Retro2Go is now hosting you for 0 viewers. Let's see, you can see that here, and then you can see that here in your window capture, but you will not see it here in this CLR browser. That's what I love. One of the things I love about it is that it doesn't include unnecessary things for the most part. Another thing you will notice is that if I type in !, like if I use a bot command, like one of my bot commands for MooBot is going to be ! Spoiler, you'll see that it will capture on here, but it takes and then MooBot will post, and then MooBot, because it says my name, will highlight that said comment. So, and that's where it gets a little detracting for me, is that I don't necessarily like it when it highlights everything. I know there's a way around it where you can open up a different web browser. You can do Firefox and then capture the window and then have no set highlights on that, but it just seems like a hassle. On top of that, you know, with doing the window capture, you'll probably have to do it every time you stream. You're probably gonna have to recapture it every time you stream, because for whatever reason it likes to capture the whole window sometimes. I've had when I've used OBS, or if you accidentally I'll show you here, I feel like an infomercial bashing it so bad. When I move that window, it kind of does this glitchy looking thing until I move it back. So that's one of the reasons why I don't like it, and that's why I moved away from it, is that it's kind of a pain to set up, and then if you move it or if you maximize it by accident or don't get it to that right size, it just doesn't look right from there on out, and then, you know, you have to readjust it while you're streaming. Whereas this I can't really mess with this unless I go to properties and I adjust the width, and you know, we'll adjust the width to like 500, you know, whatever, doesn't really matter, and it'll readjust itself. That's one of the things I do like about it. And there we go. Let's see. Another thing is that I will type my own name. I will type one of my highlight words into the chat. As you can see, it highlighted whenever I typed in from my alt account. It highlighted Jesse on here, but it does not highlight on here. And you know, it's made strictly for video purposes. It's not for you to look at. It's made strictly for the video purposes of the stream, not something you can, like, you know, you reference and actually look at. And that's what I like about it. It keeps it nice and clean. I can still see the highlight on there, but it doesn't appear as this blocky kind of looking mess on here that even on the video playback on the VOD, it's gonna look hard to read, for example. So that's one of the things I do like about it. Like I said, I've also customized, you know, the fonts. I've done an outline. I've even changed the little icons next to my name, you know, the mod sword or the broadcaster sword. Let's see. Oh, this is also one of the, this is the HD chat. I'm probably going to be focusing more on this one than the other one, but let me show you the other one just to give you an example of what else you can do with it. This is my, I guess, my chill kind of indie looking chat on a scrap piece of paper. Again, I'm just going to post my own name for, you know, reference that it's highlighting here and it's not highlighting on there. You can see that green crappy looking mod sword that I hand drew and implanted in there to go with the handwriting text. Let's see, and you can see my hand-drawn looking broadcaster symbol, and you know, just little things like that add that extra layer of depth and detail into your whole layout, possibly, especially one like this, to where I have a corkboard layout and I got a handwriting font. It's kind of cool to have a crappy hand-drawn sword and a broadcaster symbol to go with it as well. So You know, little things like that. I could be very OCD. Also, just to show you one more thing, is that this has the image, it has a background image attached with it. I'll be showing you that as well. But like I said, mostly I'll be focusing more on this HD chat. I'm sure people would probably go for the HD chat more, and it'd be more practical for everybody. But regardless, I'll be able to show you how to customize pretty much everything. Almost everything, pretty much everything. So without further ado, oh, one more thing. I'd like to go over the importance of having a chat in there. One of the things I like about having a chat in there is, one, it lets people know how long of a delay there is, you know, from when they're chatting and when it appears on stream and when I'm able to notice their post. Two, it's good for VODs highlighting. One of my favorite things when I highlight or look at a VOD is to see my chat's reaction to the things that go on. I've seen VODs sometimes, and you know, you just have no idea what's going on. Me personally, like even sometimes when I look at my VOD and I had no chat in there, I had no idea what I was responding to exactly, or what that person said sometimes, or what their reaction was. And you know, the viewers and the chatters are part of the experience, in my opinion. And so this is my little way of being able to include them in there. You know, I personally feel like if you're streaming on Twitch and you don't care about your viewers, you're doing something wrong. You know, it's not saying that the chat needs to be in there, but essentially you need, like, you know, you have to care about your viewers. And for me, this is the little extra thing I can do for my viewers to be immortalized into my videos and my highlights and all my fails and successes, I guess, by capturing it on live stream. One of the other things is, unfortunately, if there's any, you know, trolls abusing you or messing with you or whatever, you got video evidence of saying, hey, this guy was trolling me on my, and you can look at my VOD this many minutes in, and, you know, maybe report them to Twitch. Kind of protects you. Not that I've had to do that. I've maybe once actually, but you know, that's honestly not the reasons why I care for it in there. I personally just like it in there for reference of when I have a highlight or I have a VOD and I want to know who I'm talking to, who was there with me, what we were talking about, etc., how their reaction was and all that. So let's move on and get to the actual OBS chat. Now, here we got the OBS chat. You can install and download the CLR browser right here. I already have this downloaded, so I'm going to cancel this. If you have any questions about installing it, I would recommend going back out, go to the follower alert. I don't know why it's only for the follower alert, but you can click on the install video and it'll show you how to go about installing it if you have any questions. It seems fairly straightforward from what I remember, but you know, there's that video if you need that reference. There, it's under the follower alert, not under the OBS chat for whatever reason. So anyways, let's go to OBS chat. We're gonna go install, we're gonna go to next. You're gonna type in your username. It's going to be retroactive J, and we're gonna go to our chat style. Now, let's see. If you do light, you get a black font, and then you get a white transparent background. If you do dark, you get a white font, and then you get a black transparent background. Personally, since we're going to be customizing it so much, it doesn't matter. I'd rather go with none. This is going to be no background. And, you know, you can add the background later if you want to. Personally, I go with no background. And even with things that I teach you, you can actually go and swap back to light or dark. But for now, we're going to do none. It's going to give you a hosted URL. And let's see, basically, you're going to copy and paste this. It gives you even a recommended, hey, start with a height of 600 and a width of 300. And you know, change it to the size you like. Honestly, you know, you'll have to figure that out on what you want to do. And let's see, I'm going to show you one thing not to do as far as adding the CRO browser plugin is you just go to add. You basically go to add, and then you go to the CLR browser plugin. We're going to go chat demo on this, and then we're gonna set this to 100 now, and then we're gonna post our URL in here. And then real quick, you're gonna go to CSS. This is especially important if you're not editing the coding on your chat. I would go to CSS, and I would just go ahead and clear out everything, just to see, just to make sure. So here we go. We got it here. You can probably barely see it on the screen. I can barely see it on my screen. That's for sure. I have a base now I guess I should go on a bit and say I have a base resolution of 1080p, and then my stream is downscaled into 720p. So the fact that it's 1 pixel wide is barely visible on here. This is bad. I can't use this as is for sure. So this is where customization comes in. You can, mind you, stretch it out, but I hate how it looks distorted personally. I'm OCD. Yeah, that's right. So basically it looks distorted. It doesn't look clean, in my opinion. So we're just gonna go ahead and reset that size, and I'll show you how to customize it. Now we're gonna create a new tab. We're gonna take our hosted URL, and then we're gonna paste we're gonna paste it and enter. I swear I can talk. And we're gonna do inspect element. Now here's what I want you to do to start off with. We're going to look for the style. Now basically when you find it, it's basically going to be body from like when you're going to undo these triangles until you see the style that has body and these squirrely brackets, and you're going to copy everything from there to this chat line, to the end bracket on chat line. And what we're going to do, we're going to paste that into here. This is basically all the code you can really mess with. Now the two things, since we're working with the clear one, the clear CLR browser, we can erase these. We don't need these. Don't even mess with that, basically. Now if you are working with the dark one, you'll want to keep in the dark one. If you're working with the light one, you'll want to keep in the light one. That's kind of given. And I recommend having everything kind of line up. You know, you could even back it up all the way to the lines, but you know, I think it's easier to work with when you got these little indents, like, hey, here's everything from here to here, everything from here to here. You know, so I like it like that. Now the only problem with copy and pasting this right now is we're going to back out. You're going to go to these images .turbo, .turbo, .moderator, and you're going to take out the background images because for whatever reason it doesn't like it when we have a double of that. But aside from that, I think everything else should be fine. And if you want to, you can delete out that line. Delete out each line. Not that it's necessary, but again, very OCD. I just like to keep things kind of a tight knit. So, alright, so here's all the coding you can essentially work with here. Now, you're going to see why I told you to plug that. Go ahead and plug that in a sec. Now, let's see. Make sure it says join channel retroactive J before you start messing with it. That way you can post. And let's see. I'm going to, joined your channel is what I'm saying. You can feel free to join and follow my channel as well, but I digress. We're gonna just spam some text, make sure this thing is working. See? Alright, so I just posted there and it popped up there. Now from here we can really start messing with it. Let's see. I can go to the last thing that was posted, and you can, basically, you'll see from here, it'll add an extra line of code every time you post into it. It's pretty neat, actually, to see it kind of in real action. And we'll do a \me colors, just to test it out one more time. And there you go, you get to see it again. And you got a couple of different things you can do here. Once you get to this, you can click down here and you can see it highlight everything on here. And then if you click this little arrow, you can even highlight details like the broadcaster tag, the nickname, the message, and all the code about it. So let's start with the font size. My biggest argument with the CLR browser is the font size. So let's see what we're gonna do. We're gonna click on this code right here. We're gonna go back, we're gonna go to the right side here, and we're going to I don't know if I said it or not, but basically you right click inspect element. I'm sorry if I forgot to mention that, but anyways, you basically go to the font size. You can adjust it from here. Let's say we want 30 pixels tall, because I can't see that. Oh wow, now I can really see it. That's amazing. But now my text is going into itself. Oh, it's dumb. That's not cool, man. So let's go to line height. That's why my text is going into itself, is because my line height is being retarded. Let's go to 30 pixels on that line height. Ah, that looks way better spaced. But now that broadcaster badge looks a bit off. As you play around with it, honestly, right click inspect element is like opening up a playground. Really. There's just a whole mess of code you can mess with. So now I'm realizing that broadcaster tag is not vertically aligned perfectly. So we're gonna look for dot tag, and we're gonna go to vertical align, and we're gonna do top. Or not top. Well, we'll try top. Let's see. let's see top, just to show you an example. Oh, now it's too high, obviously. We'll do middle. Ah, there we go. It's there. Now, one of the other things you can do, if you feel like the middle's still a little off and you're OCD, you can also do bottom, and then you can also do margin. We can margin bottom, or you can even do if you do a line top, you can do margin top. Either one. It's however you want to do it. Let's see. We'll do 5 pixels. That seems about right. It seems to be about the line height, and I think I'm cool with that. So, let's see. We pretty much got that the way we want it. Now, let's see. Another thing you may notice here is that the broadcaster tag is actually a linked image. I'm not the biggest fan of this broadcaster tag, so let me change it to something else. You know what? Well, here's my photo bucket. You can upload your photo, whatever you want, to Igmer, Photo Bucket, you know, any image hosting website, and find basically a broadcaster, you know, or find or make a broadcaster tag. Right now, I'll show you the ones I made, and I'll just copy and paste that into there. And oh, go back to my chat. And let's see. Instead of this image, I'm going to paste this image into it. Cool. All right, cool. We got that. Oh man, now I'm realizing the background is black. That's wonderful. Well, you have a couple different options with background. You can either change the color. If you do this, you can get whatever color you really heart desires, and you can see it change in real time. In fact, it might trip you out a little bit. And or you know, you can even do just something transparent and take out the background altogether if you want to. It's entirely up to you. And let's see. Other than that, I think we're pretty much set here. So, oh, you know what? I'm not big on this red color. That red color kind of pisses me off. I don't know why I made my username red. Well, let's see. This is actually something I don't expect people to find on their own, but if you highlight over Nick, it says span.nick, where it says retroactive J, and I don't see a span.nick thing to mess with here on the right side here. I actually found this out by accident, so I went to the plus for whatever reason and kind of found this out that I could change the color, and we could do now the colors can work in two ways. You can either pick a color from here, or you can do a color that you're familiar with. We will do, let's see if there's a light gray or something. Oh man. Now here's another thing though, is that when you do this is one of the few things I know you will have to do exclamation mark important, because basically it's when it's crossed out, that means there's another there's another CSS code that is overriding that code from working. So we're gonna do this one as more important than the other one. I just made that gray. Sweet. You know, maybe I'll change that from light gray to just regular gray. Sweet. That looks cool. Whatever. Let's see. What's something else I want to change? Let's go to. Let's change the color of the entire thing here. We're gonna change this to hashtag. Now you can either do color. You can do colors in multiple ways using CSS. If you know the colors off the top of your head, you can do that. Let's see. Now let's see. With now I want to change all my colors, like my color text, into white. Now, mind you, right now I can't see it because I got a white background on here. We'll fix that in one sec. I mean, it really won't matter once you do it into the OBS. So we're gonna do, and with the same thing on the colored here, we're going to do plus here. We're gonna do let's see, color white, or hashtag FFF, and we're gonna do bang important to override that. And again, there we go. We got it solid. Looks amazing. Not really, because we can't really tell what it's doing on here. So we're gonna go back to OBS and plug in our new codes very simply. Let's see. We did mess with the chat box, so we're going to copy and paste from that hashtag chat box to here, to the end bracket, and we're going to go back to our OBS. We're going to go back to here, and we're going to paste that in right here. It didn't look like exact the same, but yeah, it's whatever. Not too worried about it. It really doesn't matter how far off it is from the left side or not. So it just matters that you replace the chat box with the chat box, you replace the .nic with the .nic, and the tag with the tag. You know, you get it. Match things up. So broadcaster tag, we're also going to do this here. .tag, and we're going to copy, and .tag. Let's see. I don't think I did anything with the nick. I don't think I did anything with the body. We did mess with the broadcaster tag itself, so we're gonna see if, oh, here we go. We're gonna copy and paste that. Let's see. And honestly, you may want to reorganize this a bit, you know, if it bothers you. But for now, for the tutorial purposes, I'm not going to bother organizing so many lines of chat, or so many lines of code, I should say. Let's see. Now, let's see. We also got chat line. Let's go to chat line. I think that was the last thing I edited. Chat line. Oh, here it is. And now let's see. That wasn't quite the last thing I edited. I lied. We also did change the colors on the username fonts, or on the usernames. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and copy and paste that span.nic code we got, and then we're gonna go ahead and copy and paste the color message changing we got. And I think that should be good. Alright, cool. It's looking pretty good. Now, we're going to test this out a little bit. I think there's one more code I need to add before we get going. Let's see. And it's actually very, 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 very useful code. Let's see. I'm just going to type out a pretty long sentence just to show you. How are we doing today? Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Now, one of the things I want to show you here is that it did cut off, you know, things like doing and ladies and gentlemen, whereas it did not cut off, you know, the words here. And you know, in the window chat, I will say that's one of the easier things right off the bat. So I could show you how to fix that, but aside from that, we got it to the right height we want. We got the broadcaster badge the way we want. It's looking good. Also, my broadcaster badge is actually 20 by 20. It's actually not 18 by 18, so I'll change that real quick in here. In tag, and then we'll go ahead and just copy and paste. And I'm just showing you the easiest way to go about it. Now, you know, as you get more comfortable with it, you might even just be able to edit straight from OBS and then just reload it. You know, rather than having to go back into the, you know, the Google Chrome and mess with the CSS coding. There's another thing I want to mess with here, actually. This padding, I'm not a big fan of this padding. It kind of throws off the height for whatever reason for me. You can leave that in or not. It's entirely up to you. But me personally, I take it out because it's easier for me to measure how, you know, the chat lines and how tall, you know, how tall I need to make it in OBS. So and you know what, we're gonna change the width on this to like 500. I don't know, we're gonna make it about the same size. The chat height, well, let's go to the chat line. Here we go. We're gonna plug this in right here. So the line height is 30. What you can do from here, let's say you want 5. Let's say you want 5 chat lines to show up and be captured. Basically what I would do is that I would do 5 times your line height, which is 5 times 30, and then it would be 150. However, add 10 pixels to it. The margin is 5 on the entire document, on the entire thing. So add 5 to the bottom and 5 to the top, and add 10 all together, and you got 160. And let's see. Oh, there is one other thing I wanted to see here. The tag. We're going to copy and paste this tag because I did change the width on that tag on the broadcaster. And we're going to go to here. Now, I'm not entirely sure, but you might even actually be able to paste from here and then play in here. But I honestly I get my initial setup as much as I want in Google Chrome using the inspect element, and then I copy and paste it into the OBS. Now, one of the things I will warn you is not to refresh the page while you're messing with it. It will undo any of the code you've done. I probably should have warned you to begin with, but let's see. One more thing is that that message breaking. Let me find that message breaking. Chat line. Where? And you can also change the text transform here to capitalize, and then you can do it all uppercase. We can do all uppercase. We can do capitalize. You can even take away the bold. You can even add, italics to it if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. Let's see what I'm really looking for. Give me 1 sec. I apologize. I'm looking for word break. Word break all. I'm not a big fan of word break. That's what I was talking about. It breaks in the middle of a word. And we're going to copy and paste that. Okay, so yeah, we're going to paste that there. And I think that'll be all the code I need. Now let's post a couple of messages here. Doodaloo. Yeah. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. The only difference is that 1, there's no background. 2, we can mess with a couple more things here. Let's say you want it in the center. We can. There's 2 ways to go about this, but I'll just show you the way in doing it in here. Again, like I said, you can add code straight to the OBS chat, or you can by doing the CLR browser, or you can mess with it in Google Chrome. It's entirely up to you. Let's see, you can do text align, and one of the things I like about doing it in Google Chrome is that if you're not sure what it's gonna be, it will kind of guess and give you suggestions for codes. Like if you type a T, it'll give you text options. If you type B, it'll give you background and every option that begins with a B. If you do A, it'll say align content, animations, all that. Personally, I don't mess with animations or anything, especially with a chat. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of pointless for a chat to have animations or anything like that. Anyways, so let's go back to text, and I'm gonna do text align, and then once it has the word you want, if it already guesses the word you want, all you have to do is just tab over. And then we can do center, and then tab over. Now everything's centered, mind you. So there's everything being centered. We can also do right, and we can say, hey, I don't want to paste the whole copy and paste this whole thing. You can also go ahead and do it just like this. Just make sure you copy and paste it into the correct category you had it, and you're good to go. And so that way it'll grab the right side of the wall there. you know, or you can even center it if you want to. So much text to go through. Let's see. And you can center it and just edit it straight from there. You know, as you play around with it, you'll probably get more familiar and what's quicker for you. There's a million ways to go about it. Now, the biggest thing right here is that we got different is one, we have a different font, and two, we have an outline that we'd like to do. So as far as the outline goes, I'm gonna just give you the code for that I came up with, because it was kind of a complicated code. But as far as the text goes, we're gonna go to Google. We're gonna go to google.com/fonts. These are free fonts to use. You know, you can also find fonts like, hey, like I said, I found a God of War font by searching Google God of War font, and you know, whatever. You could do the same concept. Let's just find a font we like. You know what? Let's see. You know, I'm really picky. It's bad. I shouldn't be this picky for a tutorial. Let's... We can even, you know, subtract categories from here. You know what? Let's go with... You know what, let's go with this. I don't know. Black Ops 1. In case you're playing Black Ops, I don't know. We'll go with a Black Ops font for... So, we'll go ahead and download. We'll go to this right here. We're gonna go to this. We're going to click on the zip file. We're going to do this. We're going to open it. We're going to do this. We're going to and we're going to open it up, and then we're going to install. Here we go. So our name of the font is Black Ops 1. That's going to be, you know, you're going to remember the name of the font you downloaded. Google, or you can copy and paste from here. Google does a good job of giving you the CSS code to work with. Generally, from my understanding, like from my experience, you don't need to copy this part, but you need the like, I'll show you. You don't need the whole thing from my experience, but we'll go ahead and plug it in anyways. Like, you don't need this whole thing right here. It'll be just fine, just like that. It'll figure out what to do. Yeah, it's a smart cookie. Anyways, now the last thing we are missing here is a let's see, it's going to be a outline. Now I'm just gonna give you the code for the outline. Mind you, you might want to edit it a bit. This one's going to be blocky a little bit. You could shred pixels here and there. I might give you a rounded outline, and I'll give you a blocky outline like I got. But for now, we're just going to copy and paste it from what I've got in that one. And then we're going to... Let's see, where are we going to paste this? We're going to paste this in the chat box. Hashtag chat box. And call it a day. And should be good to go. There we go. Voila. Looks pretty damn good if I do say so myself. Let's see. Now with the chat line being the same height, you may want to reduce the actual font or increase the chat line by a certain number of pixels. That looks good, because sometimes it'll cut off, especially with the shadow. I've noticed it'll cut off a couple of pixels of that shadow, so you'll have room to play around with. Like I said, I keep the chat line exactly, you know, I keep my chat line generally something divisible by 10, and so I can be like, hey, I want 5 lines of chat, which I see 5 lines of chat here, to appear, and then so 5 times 30 in this case would be 150, and then plus 10 to get your 160, and then that gives you 5 lines of chat. You know, and you can adjust that accordingly. You can do 40, you know, 40 for your line height, and do 5 times 40, which would be 200, then plus 10, that'd be 210. You get the idea. Now, the last thing I really didn't go over with is if you want to add a background image, like, you know, this scene. If we want to add a paper background image, let's see. I have a hosted URL that has my paper chat, and I'll just show you that. We'll go here. I'll directly copy that. Doo-doo-doo. And one of the other things I will let you know right off the bat, I don't know if you noticed, but this one's reloading and then this one isn't. And it was kind of a forgotten thing that I didn't go over with you guys, that if you load this up as a global source, it'll stay loaded throughout the day, and it won't, you know, have to reload every time you swap to that scene. You know, like say for example you go to your BRB screen and then you come back. If you don't have it loaded as a global source, it will reload. If you do have it loaded as a global source, it won't reload. And I'll show you how to plug that in real quick. I probably should have went over that earlier, and I apologize. So we're gonna do background, and like I said, I know how to plug this in. Background image. We're gonna go to the body. This is one of the few things fonts and the background image, and like the font, custom fonts and the background image are one of the few things I really don't toy with until it's in OBS. But you know, it's one of those easy things to figure out. Let's see. Background image is going to be, we're going, oh yeah, I'm sorry, URL and paste, and then I was just trying to think of that code, and then we're good to go. That should load up the paper chat. Yep, there it goes. Not that it looks good on this, but you know, whatever. So there you have it. A couple of things we can do. Let's say we didn't want that background image, but we wanted a background. Let's see. I would recommend using the alpha, this, I'll show you here in one sec. I would recommend going down to the style, going down and finding, let's say, the dark chat box code. say you wanted to add a transparent background that doesn't actually cover anything. I would paste that into here, and bada bing, bada boom. Let's see what we got here. Nothing. Oh, I'm sorry. I did background color. I'm silly. And I did background to back. Oops. Okay, so copy and paste. And I'm sorry. This is, you know, so you gotta be wary because it's not gonna tell you. That's the thing with doing it in OBS. It's not gonna tell you when you mess up. Okay, so this looks pretty good. I got a little chat box thing going on here. That's awesome. Now one of the things you can do from here, you can do, you can change the colors from here if you know your RB or RGBA, or I'm sure you can figure that out some way. Let's see, and we'll change the red to 144. That'll probably give it like a pink chat or something. It gives it like a reddish tint. Okay, cool. We can do also, let's see if we wanted to make it darker than that. We can do this and make it a darker red chat. Now let's see, now that you've done all this, the most important part that I was lecturing myself on that I kind of goofed is that I added it as a regular source. Now you can do that, but like I said, once you BRB and then come back, whoops, wrong scene, wrong random scene, you got two options. You can either copy and paste it, or you can import. Nah, let's not mess with import actually. Let's just copy and paste everything. All of our code. Copy. And then we're going to go to global source. We're going to add, remove. We're going to add CLR browser. And we're going to call it demo chat. We're going to paste everything in there. Let's see. We're going to get this to, what? We're going to do it to 160 height because I want 5 lines. And then we're going to do 50 or 500. And then we're going to copy and paste the URL in here. And we're going to call it a day. Okay. And then we're going to add this global source. And then we're going to go to demo chat, which is going to be at the last one we did. So it's going to be at the bottom. There we go. And like I said, if I move from here and go back to here, the one that's not loaded as a global source is reloading, and then the one that's loaded as a global source is staying still. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. And like I said, you can customize a few more things in there. Honestly, I encourage you to play around with it. Now, as far as like customizing, you know, making the chat icons look more like Twitch itself, I got a little trick here for you. And another thing is that I made bigger icons as well, and you know, I'll go into that a little bit. Let's inspect element on here. We'll go to user retroactive J. Like I always just click inspect element on the exact line I want to mess with. So badges, broadcaster badge, and this is just a little something if you want to mess with it. You can click on this URL, which will take you to a white image page. It'll take you to a white page. This isn't exactly this is technically a document file. A .svg is a document. I'm not exactly sure, but here's one of the things I found out with playing with the coding is that when you right click inspect element again on here, you can do color, or let's see, sorry, background, and we'll do color, we'll do black. I'm sorry, we'll do it on the first one. Apparently it doesn't like it on the second one. And we'll try this one more time. Again, playground. It's one of those playground things. You're gonna have to play around with messing around with the coding if you really want to get a customization out of it. So black. Okay. Now let's see. For the fill color, we got it right here. I'm feeling now with this now one of the things with the fill color is that you can't change it on the right side. It's locked. But you can change it on the left side. So let's do pink. We'll go girl power. I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so now I got a pink. Sweet. Now one of the things you will notice right here is that the width is 36. And then, so let's say you want to do it to the actual 18. You just plug in 18 there. And then you plug it in 18 here. Now my chat icons are actually my chat itself is bigger, so I actually went with 27 and 27, and you can adjust it. That's pretty much why I'm showing you this, is that you can adjust it. And then from here you can control print screen, and you can paste into your image editing program like GIMP, and paste as new image. We go here. Okay, and we're gonna crop. We're gonna image crop the selection. Just get a basic crop first, and then we're gonna do. Okay, and then we're gonna, I've measured it out, 27 pixels, 27 pixels. We're going to image, crop the selection one more time. And let's say you can either keep that, you have two options here. You can either keep that background in, or you can delete it out, and use the same color background. One of the things I would recommend is that, say, hey, if I want this background to be, if you want to use a black background, get it right here and then copy and paste it. Or if you want to use a red background, get it right here. If you want to use a gold background, get it right here. Or a gold fill. Just basically edit it to the colors you want from here and get it to the size you want from here, and then copy and paste it into your image editing program. Aside from that, I'm probably going to leave all the links here. I just wanted to show you guys that, how to get the official Twitch icons and how to edit them and custom them. Like I said, this is ideal if you want to make it match your layouts, or match your color scheme of your channel, or even just the colors of the game. I don't know, what have you. Do what you want, because a pirate is free. I don't know. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it. I can't, other than that, just file, export, and then you'll host the image to Igmir or Photo Bucket or whatever, and you'll be good to go. Other than that, let me know if you got any questions. Leave them in the comments below. I'm sorry this was a very, very long tutorial. I'm sorry, I probably could have saved time here and there, and I probably was a derp a little bit. I don't really do the whole YouTube tutorial thing too often, but you know, I really hope this was useful and helpful for those who paid attention to it. And I just want to say goodbye. You know what? I'll even say in my chats, and all 4 of them on my screen, because I'm a dork like that. What up? Y'all have a wonderful day. Let me know if there's anything else I can help you guys with, and I'll try to do the best I can, keeping up with the comments and whatnot.